Have you heard of this? People with higher incomes generally prefer their loo paper to unravel over the roll, while those with lower incomes prefer it to go under.
Do we have preferences? Mine goes over because I don't want it at the back, like touching
the wall.
Touching the wall, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. But Lauren always seems to put it the other way.
Ooh.
No.
The class divide.
Is this recording?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Good. Mars One is a not-for-profit foundation that will establish a permanent human settlement on Mars. Human settlement on Mars is possible today with existing technologies. Mars One's mission plan integrates components that are well tested and readily available from industry leaders worldwide. The first footprint on Mars and lives of the crew thereon will captivate and inspire generations. It is in the public interest that will help finance this human mission to Mars. The Mars One mission plan consists of cargo missions and unmanned preparation of a habitable settlement, followed by human landings. In the coming years, a demonstration mission, communication satellites, 2 rovers, and several cargo missions will be sent to Mars. These missions will set up the outpost where the human crew will live and work. The mission design takes into account the expansion of the human colony, where a new crew will arrive every 2 years. Mars One will select and train the human crew for permanent settlement. The search for astronauts began in April 2013. More than 200,000 registered for the first selection program. Stichting Mars One is a Dutch non-for-profit foundation. It is the mother company of Interplanetary Media Group, a for-profit company which enables the foundation to secure funds from its investors. Interplanetary Media Group.
Wow. Well, Mars One there. What a load of bollocks. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Last 7. Not just another episode, Tone. Episode number 30.
It feels like I've done more than 30.
Thanks. Well, you haven't done 30.
Wow.
You've been absent for a couple. I'm the only consistency. But then, it is my laptop. I'm your host, Dan Rowley. With me today, of course, Antonio Romola.
Hello.
Hasn't done 30 yet, but it feels like a lot more, apparently. Cheers, mate. I'm spending time with you too. And Kenneth Trainer.
Hello, everyone.
Mars One there. So nothing about the TV, not on their website, anyway.
I don't give a fuck. Don't you dare switch this TV off. Just explain to everyone what we're watching. There's a brilliant program on. What was it called?
It's called
What the one?
It's called Pets Wild at Heart.
Narrated
Look
by
at this tone.
narrated
It's a
by
hamster
David
running
Tennant.
around a wheel.
I'll
but
chuck a link up to it.
Look
We
at
have the iPlayer. It's at the moment watching a hamster run
They'll
really
probably
fast
do
and do
that a
that
lot.
thing where they go full circle in the wheel. Fantastic.
But it's in like high definition, high
Oh yeah,
speed.
it's in super slow motion. Oh,
Oh,
caught one in the pouch
poor
there.
Hemi.
Anyway, yeah, this probably won't stay in. Because we're just watching the telly.
According to Wikipedia regarding Mars One, the first flight's planned for January 2018, and the first crewed flight is planned for April 2024. Now they do stress planned.
Yeah, I'll bet. Tony, you said you had a worst thing of the week. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't covered in recent weeks, but yeah, let's go.
My worst thing of the week happened this morning. It's indoor market fable again,
Excellent, of course.
but nothing to do with customers this time.
Love the indoor market.
Yeah.
Tone hates it.
So, was there this morning, getting stuff on display. My youngest brother Machado was there. Now I didn't realise that he'd stuck. You know when you stick like signs on people's backs, you know like the most common one is kick me.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, he stuck a sign on my back, and it must have been probably about 8:30 that he put this on my back in the morning, right? But I never noticed that this sign was on my back until about 12 o'clock. So, for like what, like 4 hours,
I've got-
nearly 4 hours. It was just I had this thing on my back, and do you know what it said?
I gotta be honest, Tony, you're the perfect person for this, because like you're exactly the person that wouldn't notice for hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About your day.
Do
Go
you know
on,
what
what
it
did it say?
said? I have an itchy anal beard. Yeah.
That's terrible.
No, that's
That's
terrible
horrible,
for
yeah.
customers
It's not,
coming
it's not
in
quite
and
so.
out.
It's not quite so funny now, is it?
I'm surprised no one said anything all that time.
I just thought that's how you express yourself.
No, it was just stupid, and I was gutted, and I was embarrassed as well, knowing that had been on me all that time.
Yeah, I bet. But
Because he even left. He wasn't even around to enjoy it. He stuck
didn't
it on
need
my.
to be,
He
Tom.
must have
He
stuck it
didn't
on my
need to
back,
be.
and then he was gone.
He didn't need to be there. He knew that it would take you hours to
Yeah.
realise.
if you stick it, they will come.
I found it really embarrassing, and then I was trying to remember all the people I'd served and if they may have looked at my back and trying to remember if they were smirking at me, like, you know, and stuff. But I couldn't remember. A lot of people seemed happy around me and smiley and like they were having a good time. I guess that they were laughing at me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Life's been a bit mundane lately,
Yeah.
isn't it, really, I guess.
I tell you who life wasn't mundane for. This week, Tommy Caldwell and Kevin Jurgensen successfully climbed the 900-metre dawn wall of El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. Free climbed as well.
Yeah.
Right. Since people started climbing like outdoors and for sport, there's been sort of sheerer and sheerer faces. Now pretty much everybody's convinced that anything can be climbed with the right preparation, perseverance and the right equipment. These guys who climbed this 900-metre thing, it took them a couple of days, and they sort of, you make a tent that hangs off the side of the cliff.
No way.
Yeah, it's just like
Who's relaxing in that?
I know, right?
Who's getting to sleep in that?
No, he's
Yeah,
filming
what-
a load of it. I'll chuck the links up
God.
to it. And he's filming it a load, going, "Yeah, wind's getting pretty intense up here." It's like, no shit.
At least there's no mosquitoes.
Not just the idea of climbing the fucking thing. These people are ridiculously fit. I'm not sure if you've ever seen climbers or free. Have you seen free climbing before, Tone?
Is
Where
that?
people just have
Oh
like
yeah, they don't
climbing
have any
yeah.
safety ropes, anything like that. They just go for it. don't
special
they? Yeah,
rubber
it's
rubber
crazy.
shoes for grip, and normally a chalk bag on their back, and nothing else that does that. You know, a pair of fucking pants so they don't constrict their movement.
It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. Speed climbers and they're so daft. Anyway, this is like a sheer face. Yeah, it took them a couple of days, but they did it. Did it this week.
I like that though. You know, like the fact as if the free climbing's not difficult enough. Speed climbing, you know, they got to go
Yeah.
one further and make it even
Well,
more,
no, that people
more
do.
ridiculous.
They got-
These
to
people,
time
dude, these people are
themselves.
fucking adrenaline because they could. People do die doing it.
Oh yeah.
By the fucking bucket load, I imagine.
Well, I'd imagine you wouldn't do something like that unless you were ready to die. You're ready to lose your
That's
life.
the thing,
at
though. That's
any
the
given
adrenaline part of it. That's what gets you up
moment.
the mountain. The thought of dying. You're just like, yeah, no way. I'm gonna definitely do this.
See, that just makes me feel.
Your grip,
feel
I reckon,
sick.
would get stronger if you thought if I fall here.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess so.
fucked.
I don't
Fucking
like
amazing.
dangerous sports.
So it's no racing sports. No. What would you consider a dangerous sport?
Freaking motorbike racing.
Did you watch any?
No, I didn't watch that.
Ah.
I should watch.
Chucked up links to loads of superbike crashes, mate, onto that episode.
Stock car racing.
Which one's that?
That's like demolition. Racing.
Oh no, they just crash.
Yeah, just
Right.
crashing.
How is that racing? How do you win that?
Well, I think it is a race, but you're allowed to like rally people off the tracks and
You
stuff.
just smash into people.
Yeah, but
That's
it is a
insane.
race. But it's kind of like most vehicles break down and stuff.
So if you're in the lead, you're sweet. Unless you lap somebody and they just fucking
Yeah.
like punch you or something.
Yeah.
What about boxing? Think boxing's a dangerous sport? Darts. They die young.
Well, I don't like the idea of I think what I meant to say was painful sports. I don't like the idea of painful sports you can get hurt in.
Do you know which sport has the most in-play deaths? In other words, most people die during playing this sport.
Let me take a guess. Hockey?
No.
Is it a sport that? Hang on a minute. Is it just the most popular sport and therefore there are more deaths, or is it really?
It is very popular amongst a certain group of people. Yeah.
Ooh,
Cricket.
certain group. Oh yeah, that's a point. That could be cricket. That's
Oh, yeah.
fucking dangerous and shit.
How dare you?
That's probably a trick question as well, because there probably hasn't been any sport with that many deaths.
Oh
So
no, there's
it's like-
plenty in this.
not even a
Plenty
high
of
number.
in-game deaths. Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Like, is it water? Like football maybe? Is it like where they play volleyball?
What?
or whatever? 'Cause they
Is
can-
it water football, maybe?
Water football.
Oh, what's that? Like,
Well,
is
you've
it
invented-
volleyball
Yeah,
in the water? Because they
Water
can drown,
polo.
can't they? I guess.
They can
water
drown. No, that's a fair point. Would you like to know?
yeah.
polo. Yeah.
It's bowls.
Of course.
off.
No, of course. It makes sense. Think about it. Who plays bowls?
Oldies.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. What, they die whilst playing it?
Yeah, they're quite old, a lot of them. Do you know what I mean? A lot
Why
of
are
them-
they playing it then?
Because it's a non-strenuous sport. You know
Well,
what I mean?
well, clearly not.
There's a lot of
It's the wrong age group playing it then.
No, I don't think it's the balls that's in any way responsible for their deaths.
No,
I think it's just
they're not
coincidence.
killed by falling balls.
No, I
or like
know,
something-
but they're killed by like straining to throw it. right?
No, age. A lot of them, man. They just die. People sometimes.
Yeah,
just
well, yeah,
die.
but you said in game, like.
Yeah, they're playing whilst
They'll
they're
die
playing.
in the game. Oh God, yeah, I know, but
Yeah, but I'm just saying, yeah, they're not. If they
jeez.
weren't playing balls, if they just sat at home, they'd have probably still died. That's
Yeah.
the point, isn't it?
Every time I walk
Although not
past,
necessarily, but that's.
every time I walk past the bowls club now, and I see like old men playing, I'm just gonna be like, don't do it, give it up now. It might be too late.
We've just
The
told
next
you
round.
that there's nothing to do with the bowls itself. It's like more than like.
No, I know, but
No,
they're
saying
obviously
don't-
straining, aren't they, when they're like throwing it or something? They're obviously like, oh no.
Yeah, give up aging as well.
I'm sorry. The facts stand. Most things get in death. Water football. I was hoping you would come up with some brilliant sport. I was hoping it'd be like, yeah, archery, ice skating, something like that.
Archery, yeah, that's
Probably lop a few heads off. Yeah.
Oh, there was a colleague of mine in Kent who got her partner for Christmas a bow and arrow. Like a
Yeah.
proper bow and arrow.
What?
Yeah.
Lauren made me one.
Did you really?
Yeah, because they were teaching their kids how to make them and stuff in the,
Oh,
in the
sweet.
youth club.
Could have
They
fired.
make
Could
them
have
out of
fired really.
branches and and it was good. Yeah, I got one.
They make them
I
out of
kept it.
branches. Well,
What
I
could-
did that. They were shit though.
I kept it, man. It is pretty good.
Yeah?
It's pretty powerful.
What?
She picked a good one. Good branch, like.
Hard training.
Could you fire an arrow into a bit of cardboard?
Well, I haven't actually done it with a sharp arrow
Oh.
because that's dangerous.
What the,
What are you playing at, Tone? What are you playing at?
Should have given him the safety
Why
arrow.
the hell have I never thought of making my own, like, crossbow or something?
Crossbow. Hello.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know,
do
Tom.
it.
Why haven't you, mate? Yeah, get on it.
Justin's told you, hasn't he, about his dad, about Granville making that bow and arrow.
It's one of the greatest stories I've ever
Over,
heard.
yeah,
I
over the
love it.
he'll tell it better, but I'll abridge it. Because, of course, Justin's not here, so we'll get to Justin's cunt of the week in a minute. Yeah, his dad, who's just brilliant.
Yeah, we talked about.
We do talk about
and
Granville
before.
beforehand.
He told the story before about when he got struck by lightning on the.
Oh no, he got hit by a golf ball.
Go by
Struck
golf
by
ball,
lightning
right.
would have been great, but and now the
Well,
actual
you
story
know,
sounds a bit shit.
I knew he got struck by
Ah,
something.
wasn't even struck by lightning. Oh, he was struck by a golf ball. And then got a hole in one straight away. He spent, Justin tells it, like over a year, I think, sort of treating this wood and making it into like having a special sort of
Yeah.
array of vices that made this perfect bow and arrow, and making the string really tense and following these brilliant guides. I can imagine he's a thorough bloke, is Granville. He made you sign that contract for the van, for instance.
Yeah.
But after a year or so of doing this, took him and his brother out to the woods and was like, here we go, fashion these brilliant arrows, feathers in them that works out of this quiver that he tanned himself from the family cow. And then, drew the arrow back and it all just snapped and broke into in his arms.
Yeah, they say they went up. Yeah. went up somewhere
God.
special to do it and everything.
Oh god.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Struck by lightning and then a hole in one would be good as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but that is some
Disappointed I made that
perseverance.
up because I was thinking, that's a good story. That's a hell
It's
of a
better. It's
story.
better than the Granville one. If anybody's been struck by lightning and scored a hole in one and is listening to this podcast, please email in the last7podcast@gmail.com. Alternatively, you can follow us on Twitter @thelast7. Merchandise is available. Police going past. I've noticed, right, just listening back to a couple, as Ken mentioned, there is always a siren or three throughout the podcast. We have another siren-free one.
that's true.
It's a bollocks for editing, I'll tell you.
Are
'Cause
the,
sometimes the siren goes,
are the majority police, do you reckon, or ambulances that we're hearing?
yeah, we're by a police station and a hospital.
Well, yeah, the ambulance bit's uphill as well, isn't it?
That's right.
What do you
By
think?
Albert
Do you
Street.
think it's worse news if it's an ambulance or if it's a police?
Usually ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it better that it's an ambulance going past or police? Because they're two very different things. An ambulance means that by an ambulance going past constantly, it means that people are dying.
Well, I
By
mean, yeah, it
police
means
going past,
people
it
are.
means people are being bad, committing crime.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
what's worse? Yeah. it's probably a more positive thing that you see ambulances go by because at least they're going to do something good. They're going to save people. It means that it's a good thing that an ambulance is going past. You know,
I'd be more pissed off if an
That doesn't
ambulance didn't
work,
come
Tom.
for me.
it's a bad thing that police is going past because it means that someone is being a dick
Right.
somewhere.
But good because the police are on their way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good if the ambulance goes past because they're doing something good.
Yeah, but
But
what
so
I'm
are
trying
the
to
police,
say
aren't
is,
they?
if you never see police going past with the siren on, then it means we're living in a very safe, you know, like, community.
Or a lawless society.
But if you see the ambulance go past, you just feel relieved that there are people there that are ready to come and save your life if you're, like, you know, choking on a bit of, like, you know, KFC or something. Because I'm sure that's all it is, mate, most of the time. It's just people, like, you know,
Yeah, you're right.
Tripping
Most
over.
ambulance cases are for people choking on KFC.
tripping over, like...
Can't move in KFC for paramedics. People choking. It's amazing they're still open. Touch of this week in history, chaps?
Yes, please.
Lovely. Well, one of them's going to interest you, Ken. And Tone, I know it's going to tickle your fancy. This week in 1983, Klaus Barbie is arrested in Bolivia. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
The Butcher of Lyon, Tone. Klaus Barbie. He was a Nazi.
Oh,
And
right.
like many Nazis, fled and escaped and lived in South America. A lot of people think that he
Yeah.
helped the CIA capture Che Guevara. More people think he was responsible for a coup d'etat in Bolivia. And after that dictatorship finished, he was then exiled to France, and he was arrested there and convicted of war crimes and died in jail.
Oh, good.
This week in 1984, the Apple Macintosh computer is first advertised during Super Bowl 24.
The Ridley Scott advert.
The 1984 one.
Yeah.
Quite. It's amazing. And I'm not sure how huge Apple were at the time, but big enough to have the Super Bowl commercial. It's so expensive.
Do you know the most common... I remember this fact from reading that book.
We're going to get to Tone's favourite facts in a moment. We'll explain soon.
Super Bowl that was held in 2011 is the most watched American television program in history. An average audience of 111 million viewers. Right, the Super Bowl in 2013, the average cost of a 30-second advert was around $4 million.
What was your fact, Tone?
The word British is the most common word used by British people when they're roaming the internet for porn.
That's right, I read that, yeah.
Like, but I don't get it. I don't get why. Why would you type in British?
British porn.
Why though?
I've done it. I certainly fall into that demographic.
Yeah, but why?
I want it British. I want it...
I want to keep it British.
You get to a point in your life, Tone, where you're watching pornography and you think, this isn't relatable.
Because you're watching like some strange,
Not
like,
realistic.
German.
Not realistic. Yeah, exactly. You're either German or American, certainly, and you think, I've maybe met fucking a dozen Americans in my entire life. This is totally unrealistic.
Oh, I,
So
just,
yeah,
I never thought
get back
of
onto
that.
Bend Over, mate.
I never thought of it like that. I'm gonna try that.
I'm going to broaden your horizons by bringing the horizon in slightly.
Oh.
That's an excellent fact, Tone. I lent you a book
Yeah.
because we were supposed to record yesterday. Justin didn't turn up. Didn't turn up today either. Decided to go watch a show twice. So cheers, mate. Always good to have you.
What a cunt.
What an absolute cunt. We'll get to Justin's cunt of the week. So I lent you this book.
Yeah.
What was it called? 1,411 Facts.
Yeah, to knock you sideways.
Excellent. Okay, and you
It's a
picked some of your
QI book,
favourites.
isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
a QI book, yeah.
So many. Most of them are just so knock me sideways so much that I just couldn't accept that they were genuine
Yeah,
facts.
you're very sceptical about a lot of the stuff.
Oh,
in
I
this book,
am.
aren't
It's
you?
good to be sceptical. I said the forward in there says don't worry about it because in 10 years' time loads of these facts will be disproved.
I picked some favourites here. I don't know why these ones stood. I don't know why.
I love this. My favourite when he does this.
I know, yeah.
I must have picked them
When
because
when he selects stuff and he writes a list, then he can't remember why it was significant to him.
I picked them because
brilliant.
I picked them because when I read them, they stunned me in some way, or they made me laugh, or I just questioned why. Why is that even? Why have they worked that out?
How many have you got?
Huh?
How many have you got?
Oh God, 1, 2, 3, 10.
Right, so
That's
these
my
are the
favourite.
10 most interesting facts of the 1,411
No,
that are in that
well,
book.
they're not the most interesting, but these are the ones that have caught my
Okay.
attention.
Don't worry, Tone. I've got it. Cue music.
yeah.
In at number 10,
Oh wow, they're not in any order.
Oh, well,
We'll
great.
put them in order then. Come on. In at number 10.
Really?
No, just read them out. Come on.
Okay, a male. Now I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. This third word in this sentence. A male capuchin monkey will have sex with any female that throws a stone at him.
Capuchin.
Capuchin, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why that,
Right.
has that ever happened to you?
What? Well, no. But this is what I
Well-
mean. Like, I don't get it. Like, monkeys are supposed to be the closest, nearest thing to like human beings.
Not monkeys.
Yeah, but all you're really saying is if a woman threw a rock at you, all you'd have to think is I'd have sex with her. And then you qualify as part of the fact. It didn't say
Yeah,
actually has sex.
I
It
guess-
said he would have sex with a woman.
Yeah, I've only seen that sort of thing happen in pornos, where like rough
Well,
rough
violent
sex.
assault
You're
leads
telling
to...
me you've never typed in British into PornTube, but you've typed in woman throws rock at man?
No, no. If you select like rough sex as like the sort of like
Antonio!
or whatever, you get shit like that where they like chuck stuff at each other and then then they start having a little scrap and then it turns to sex. It's funny.
In at number 9!
Yeah. 1 in 10. I was actually really surprised by this. This really made me laugh. 1 in 10 Americans think that HTML is a sexually transmitted disease. Bloody hell! At what point? Because you'd think that most people recognise HTML, even if they're not like even if they don't spend a lot of time on computers and stuff. You'd think they'd recognise HTML.
Yeah, if you didn't know, I wouldn't guess sexually transmitted disease.
No.
Would you guess it's a programming language either? Well, not program, but a
Yes, I would.
language.
I'd have a bloody good guess because I know.
Bollock.
In at number 8.
Like this next one, it just made me. It kind of disgusted me a little bit. Like the image of it. It takes 5 people to extract semen from a vulture.
How does that work then?
Well, I looked into it quickly. I did a bit of research, and 3 of the people there just to hold the fucking thing down. while the 4th person like massages its like back and like area where its genitalia is. It just sort of massages it to arouse it and get it to
Well, the other one's got to try and hold
ejaculate,
the
and the
pot.
other one just holds the pot like so that it like shoots out. He's got to like catch it.
How did you? You said you did a bit of research. How did you look it up?
I typed in.
Type into Google.
I typed in how to extract semen from a vulture.
That is quite the internet
Oh
history.
yeah,
It's
Rough sex
It's
followed by how to
yeah.
extract semen from a vulture.
Yeah.
It's not looking great so far.
Yeah.
In at number 7.
This one actually made me think. I can relate to this, and I thought, well, why haven't I done this? Mozart kept a fart diary. Like that's a good idea.
Mozart's fuck. Is it in print?
I don't know. I didn't do any research on that one.
Ah, right. He kept a diary of every incident when he heard someone fart.
Coming in fresh at number 6, Tom.
I thought this was really interesting actually, but I liked it because it reminded me of one of my drawings.
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
sort of drawings.
Drawings
that I-
freely available on our
Different
Facebook page, of course.
Yeah. During the First World War, German and Russian troops agreed a ceasefire and joined forces to fend off attacks by wolves.
Why didn't the war end there?
Why did they just stop
Oh, it
fighting the
was
wolves?
awesome.
Yeah.
Grasp of humanity.
But we'll call
Oh,
it
where
by
was that
wolves.
advert at Christmas?
Oh.
For fucking Tesco or whatever.
Next next year.
Yeah, oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, they sing Silent Night and then they all pop over to no man's land, not for a game of football, but to
And kill and skin some wolves.
kill and skin some wolves, and they just get wolf pelts and wolf
Yeah.
meat for Christmas. Opens this big brown packet. Yeah, they'd be fed so well. We'd be too fat to fight for a little while after. Ceasefire not only for Christmas Day, but for the Christmas gooch as well, and before New Year. Everybody likes to piss up on New Year. Yeah, the ceasefire lasted until June. Okay, Tone, halfway there. Number 5.
Oh, actually, no, I won't say anything first, actually, because it'll ruin it. No, I will say it. I will say it, and then I'll read it. You know how, there's so many insults for ginger people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, it just, for them it must get really, really annoying. Like people come up with all sorts of stuff, and it's like it must be quite offensive, actually quite hurtful. You know, they were born that way, and you know.
We were doing it
We
today.
were
weren't
doing it
down
today,
there?
yeah, we were.
Yeah, it's funny. Anyway, I found that
Colleague.
really amusing. But I found this fact, which I would probably say is probably the most offensive thing you could ever like share with a ginger person,
Okay.
and it is the largest sperm bank in the world does not accept donations from redheads because of insufficient demand. You would just feel like so small, wouldn't you? You just feel like a piece of shit if you knew that no one even wanted your sperm
Yeah, I
to
mean, what is
create
that
new
lack
life.
of demand? Is that eugenics? Is that?
That, yeah, well, definitely. Obviously, redheaded people are free to have sex and have as many freakishly garish children as they want, but
I remember when my cousin, who's like half Scottish, went to Italy on for a holiday, and he stripped down at the beach. Right, he was in his like speedos and that. He was only young, and he's like so pale. He was like really ginger, really pale, and everyone on the beach was just staring at him. They just couldn't believe it. I think someone was taking photos of him. Just in the water, like covered in like loads of like sun cream, like
sunblock, I
yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
It's called Cryos, the world's largest sperm bank. Ole
Cryos.
Shu, the founder, says good sperm quality is genetics. If you have big balls, you have good sperm. You want to take a guess at how much sperm they have at the? I mean, they export to more than 70 countries. They're responsible for more than 2,000 babies a year. What do you think? In how much sperm do you think they've got at the world's largest sperm bank?
4
what?
sperm.
400.
In litres?
400.
I reckon they have over 10,000 litres of sperm.
No, ridiculous. Way
Oh,
too much.
No, because you get loads of sperms in just a small amount.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
right,
they
yeah.
don't just put it all into one big
2
vat, do they?
litres.
You've got to store them all separately.
Oh,
So
that's amazing. Yeah, you got your athletes, you got your Nobel laureates, and then you've got your lucky
2
tip.
litres.
170 litres.
Oh,
God, well,
ah.
that's sick.
You can have a bath in that.
Can
The
you
man
imagine?
can look at a
Amazing.
magazine, watch a film, or listen to music.
Music?
Yeah. The majority of donors come once or twice a week. That's actually what he says. Some are even sent by girlfriends because his sexual needs are greater than hers.
Do they get paid for it?
It's a perfect scenario then, isn't it? Perfect situation.
That's how we make history in 2015. We donate the most sperm to Cryos. I reckon I could double that. I reckon I could double that tally in 2015.
Bullshit. Absolute nonsense. When I started out back in the 80s, it was not easy to get men to donate. I would ride my bicycle carrying printed sheets of A4 paper that said, "Become a donor and help childless women," and people would look at me very strangely. I remember one time I was in a restaurant toilet and I saw a beautiful black man. At the time, it was hard to get sperm from men of different ethnicities, so I told him I was in need of sperm. He became very angry and punched me. This is on the Guardian's website, by the way.
Not good enough, man. Just riding on your bicycle.
They're interviewing him. Well, yeah, who approaches a bloke in a toilet and says, "Oh, I'm in need of sperm"? Well, it depends on what kind of toilet. Yeah, in a toilet. In a restaurant.
In a toilet.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
That doesn't sound like a scientist.
Hang on. He no longer needs to advertise. They got 170 litres, a waiting list of 600 donors. The reasons for wanting to donate, he says, are not just financial. Donors receive around 500 kroner, £54 a time.
What?
But when the rate was at one point increased, the number of donors did not change. Rather, men are driven by a mix of altruism and a desire to earn pocket money. Many are students at the university nearby for whom sperm donation has become almost a rite of passage.
108 quid, £108 a week for 2 wanks. Like,
It makes me think that you're a cash for gold, put it in this envelope.
mix of altruism and pocket money. Yeah, altruism. That's what. Number 4.
Okay. Yeah, this was you try and get your head around this next fact, right? Where do you think we are in the food chain?
I think we're apex.
Yeah. That's what you'd think, wouldn't you? And
Yeah,
but you
no, I
definitely
knew it
wouldn't
was
think
gonna
what
be
I'm
that.
about to read out to you anyway.
Go on, Anne.
Humans are not at the top of the food chain, but near the middle, on a level with pigs and anchovies.
Okay. Well, it depends how you work it out, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like anchovies? Like what can they eat? Do you know what I mean? They're fucking tiny.
No, I resent. Nah, it's bollocks.
No, not necessarily. Maybe it's about the diversity of species which each species consumes,
Maybe.
Good
or
point.
how much of other species.
And I
one
guess
species
anchovies eat loads
consumes.
of fucking shit and bugs, don't they?
Ah, no, top of the
Maybe
food
they
chain.
do,
No, you're
yeah.
totally right. It'll be a diversity. It'll be the
something like
diversity
that,
of
yeah.
your diet as opposed to no, you're right. Nice. That's
we'd
a
be
good
even
one,
lower
Tony.
down.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Very strange. You would never think it, would you? You always think yourself as being like at the top of the food chain, but I guess it's not really the case.
It's hard not to think that when you can just go to a building where there's loads of dead animals there.
Yeah, like KFC, just to advertise them even more than we already have tonight.
But a lot of people choke there, as we know. So it's the animals fighting back from beyond the grave.
Yeah, but you know, it's you make a choice. Take your life in your hands. Go on a KFC.
Finger licking risky.
Okay, my last three facts I've got are actually they're all like related to each other.
Number 3.
And the reason why these were what I found I was interested in these. These 3 facts are all about fruit flies. Yeah? And as a greengrocer, fruit flies are like a nemesis of
Oh, they're the nemesis of the
yeah,
greengrocer,
they're
are
like
they?
the nemesis of the greengrocer, yeah.
Oh,
and
do they
I can't
go
stand
through?
them. Like you're trying to display some like leeks or whatever, or you're trying to put some tangerines on, and you've got like loads of fruit flies trying to get at your neck, and they just bite you and all. And it's horrible. After reading these facts, I think they're bloody awesome.
Excellent.
I love
Okay.
them now. I can't wait till I see my next fruit fly. Gonna get in there close, have a good look.
Okay, so fact number 3.
Fruit flies take their time over difficult decisions.
What difficult decisions do fruit flies face?
What the fuck? But it's interesting, right?
Tangerine or leek? Tangerine or leek? I think tangerine.
Exactly. I mean, it's it's like Sophie's choice.
Oh, God! They've
Right.
got a really short lifespan, though, fruit flies. That's why they're used by geneticists all the time, because you can track genetic change over generations, like loads of generations over the course of a week. Yeah, they're terrific. They're used hugely in science, which is probably why they got these facts and why we know so much about them.
Yeah. Wait for these next 2.
Number 2!
Removing a fruit fly's front legs makes it bisexual. So, and then this is the last one, right? I gotta read this.
And at number 1 this week,
Male fruit flies, given alcohol, develop homosexual tendencies. So, what I gather from fruit flies is they're actually quite sociable
yeah, the slags as well.
things, and they're
Total slags.
they have to make some big decisions. Do I want to be homosexual today, or do I want to be bisexual?
Drosophila melanogaster.
That's the fruit fly.
If you cut their front legs off, they become bisexual.
That's fucked up, isn't it?
crazy.
It's like, there's a decision to be made
Oh.
one day when they've gone, wow, yeah, we've been able to observe
Right.
all this behaviour in fruit flies. I wonder what would happen if we chopped the front legs off.
This book that I've got in my hand right now should become a new section of this podcast every week.
Just ripping off a book, yeah, I like it. I'm going
I
to do it
think
with pseudoscience, so don't worry.
Just for us to discuss some facts. Like I think I've had it now this week. Like Ken, you take it. You pick like 10
Oh,
of your.
okay, yeah,
You pick
gladly.
10 of your favourite ones. And we'll talk about them maybe next week, or maybe
Gladly.
not 10, but
Right then, it's time to address the elephant in the room, or rather, the elegy not in the room. Justin's cunt of the week.
Yeah.
Enough said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh right, he is. Yeah, he is the cunt of the week.
Do have another nomination quickly. Little snippet news story that I read about a child. Well, it was the parent of a child. Looked in their backpack when they came back from school and saw an invoice for £15.80 because he had RSVP'd to a friend's birthday party and then didn't turn up as he spent the weekend with his grandparents. And then the mother of the child whose birthday party it was has taken legal action and sent them court papers as well to go to a small claims court and to pay back the £15.
Oh my god.
She said she was out of pocket. It was at a dry ski slope, and yeah, just thought that instead of talking to people like a grown up and going, I'm actually a bit out of pocket, I'm sure it would have been reasonable. Yeah, just chuck the old invoice in the bag.
Well, even if not, it's still cheaper than a solicitor, surely.
Definitely.
God.
But yeah, I only saw that quickly. I thought Justin might not turn up, so yeah.
I do have another nomination.
Oh, fantastic!
Lutz Bachmann, the head of No, hold on. I can't. Pegida, which he founded in October last year. But it's an acronym that I'll just read the English translation. But it's Patriotic Europeans Against the Islamization of the West.
Yes,
they're an umbrella group for German right wing groups, basically. So even though they're holding these rallies and everything, and they're getting a lot, tens of thousands of people are attending. This is since October last year, but it's because he's essentially said we'll have a catch-all thing. So people have even, I guess, I don't know. So some of these guys probably fighting each other sometimes, but he's had to quit as leader of Pegida because there's some photographs that have been published, or one photograph rather, that's been published in the German newspapers.
Yes.
Now I will say that a spokeswoman has sought to play this down by describing the photograph as a joke. But if you see in the photograph of the German papers, it's very much imposing as Hitler.
Yeah. Gonna chuck a link up to that and the story to accompany it.
I mean, it's not so much. But what he's done basically is while he's having a shave, he's left the Hitler tash.
Yeah.
And he's combed his hair over, and it's probably snapped a pic as a joke.
I've done that. I've done that before. Just on my own, in the house. I would never think to send a picture to anyone.
No.
Lutz Bachmann is my nomination for Cunt of the Week. But I think that you have convinced me, so I am going to vote for Justin as the Cunt of the Week.
Yeah, right, okay. We've got litigious bitch mother, Hitler lookalike, or
just offensive racist,
offensive
bigot,
racist,
Nazi. It's not so much just Hitler lookalike. He actually is alike. He has a lot of the same opinions, a lot of the same views about.
That's right. Well, he organises the right wing, for God's sake, and that can only be considered a bad thing.
The German right wing as well.
Yeah, the German right wing. So, although I'm erring towards Justin as well. Tone?
Yeah, go with Justin because I'm really disappointed that he's not here.
All right then. 100% then. Justin, aside from the neo-Nazi and bitch litigious mother, you are this week's Cunt of the Week. See you next week.
Horrible cunt.
Hero of the Week, guys?
Well, following on from that, this article that I've read about Mr. Bachmann features a quote from the German Vice-Chancellor, Sigmar Gabriel. He told Bild, a German newspaper, anyone in politics who poses as Hitler is either a total idiot or a Nazi. Reasonable people do not follow idiots, and decent people don't follow Nazis.
Superb.
Which I thought was brilliant. 2 sentences, demolished. Yeah, fuck Lutz Bachmann.
Yeah. Not as bad as Justin, though. Just to reiterate.
How do I get this in it?
What is it?
This thing that fell out of a flyer earlier on today, and I want to kind of...
All right. Tone, I'm not sure we're going to make it a new segment, but just for this week. What fell out of the flyer, the flyer, the flyer? What fell out of the flyer? Tone will tell us now.
Yeah, there was a flyer in the indoor market, and my brother was messing around. He picked up this flyer, and this little
business card size.
This little business card size information card thing came out. It's like a warning thing to males about testicular cancer, like how to sort of a reminder of how to check yourself for testicular cancer.
Of course.
And on the one side of it just says in big bold letters, keep calm and check your balls. There's just a few things it says that made me laugh. This is really, really immature of me. This is really childish. Why this tickled me, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, fiddling is not enough. Check your balls once a month. How to check?
Once a month?
How to check? Take a bath or shower. Weigh each ball in your hand. Roll each ball between your fingers. Gently does it. And then it says what to look for. Don't need to read those out. It says increased size, hardness, a lump inside the ball, discomfort.
But you will anyway.
Yeah, if you have any of these, see your GP immediately. And do you know what the information website is?
www.sac.com.
It's in the bag.org.uk. Oh god, it really made me chuckle when I saw this.
I've got to be honest, if I was tasked with a little business card that I had a guide on it to give out to men, that's exactly what I would do.
The logo is a pair of pants with that next to it. It's in the bag, it's in the bag with a pair of pants.
Have you seen the testicular cancer ribbon that you get?
No.
It's a blue ribbon, but it's got just like a circle above the actual ribbon, so it looks like a guy crossing his legs. Tremendous.
That's awesome. Thing is, how would you actually weigh your ball in your hand? Like each ball?
Not intentionally. I don't go, is that heavy or not? Do you know what I mean? But I certainly.
Well,
I check.
this one's
Like,
2
every-
pounds
so
and
like-
this one's coming on a kilo.
Yeah, you made it sound like that. Yeah, like a game at a county fair or something like that. Yeah. Guess the weight of the.
I can't believe they gently does it. They put like one bullet.
Well, it's a
one bullet
rolling
point
between
is-
your fingers. I mean, you could do yourself some serious damage.
Yeah,
Tom.
if you use them like stress balls and you go, yeah, I've rolled around with fat hands like about 4 times, it's really hurting.
Yeah,
I've got
exactly.
the GP. Yeah, you've twisted your balls, mate.
I tell you
My-
what, as well, I've found a little article about Amazon have been forced to stop selling their own brand nappies. Which it was news to me that they had their own brand nappies, but yeah, they cited the need for design improvements based on early customer feedback.
Oh,
And I was thinking-
God.
What was that feedback?
Well, yeah, shit comes out the nappy. That's the only feedback it can be. It needs a design. What's the design of a nappy? Keep shit and piss in.
Very curious, yeah, because I mean, GeekWire's Trisha Dury said.
Geekwire's nappy correspondent.
They should do.
I don't
nappies that
even
last
pronounce his
longer.
surname, but yeah, this correspondent, this lady from GeekWire, she said they were very effective, well designed, and priced right. But I will not likely order them again, and I have a hard time recommending them for other reasons.
What? She doesn't say.
That's not a review. That's
No,
a
it's-
fucking, like
it's just
ambiguous,
cryptic, innit?
yeah, cryptic review. What
They
the
should
hell?
make nappies now with an extra compartment,
The play was terrible, or was it?
so that they last longer.
Some users swear by them. Someone said, "My search for a quality, non-leaking, non-rash causing, keep my baby in bank account happy diaper is over." Not written by a professional, obviously. Not written by like a copywriter at Amazon. And others are swearing at them. I have had more leaks with these diapers than I had experienced with several different brands in the last 20 months. So yeah, I just thought it was about time that we were covering nappies.
That's right. Yeah. Well, nappy news is important, and you know it caters for a large, an ever-growing population of small people.
They should do it in a way where you don't have to sit on your shit once you've done it.
How would that work?
Well, I was thinking if they sort of give it an extra compartment, so that
Right.
the first compartment it goes into is a bit further away to your bum.
A pocket.
Yeah, like a pocket. So like the first.
How do you guarantee the baby's going to shit in the pocket?
Well, no, I think there should be like a tube inside the nappy. I think the basically should look like 2 nappies that have been like gaffered together. But there's like a little tube that
Goes-
when you first
go on.
put it on,
Where's the tube go?
it's directly
Yep.
like in line with the baby's bumhole.
Yeah, good thing about babies is they don't
But
move.
it should be like so that once you've done your first poo,
Yep.
and it fills up the back sort of section of the
Yeah.
nappy,
Yeah,
the back
naturally, yeah.
compartment fills up.
Yep.
It closes itself. The tube just
Ah,
closes
right.
itself.
Yeah. No, you've
And
totally
then-
cleared up all
and
my
then-
reservations about this invention.
So that's sealed off.
That's sealed off.
And
Goes
then
into
you've
the other
got
compartment.
the other compartment ready for the next poo. So
Course.
basically, one nappy lasts 2 poos.
Yeah, fantastic.
I might try and invent this actually. You know when you're trying to think of like.
The
just
sad thing
things
is,
to
I'm
make.
sitting here listening to this nonsense, and I'm thinking someone's probably gonna try, or someone probably has already tried it.
Yeah, the double nappy.
There's
Well done, Tony.
there probably are like lovely pictures of babies with these gigantic nappies with loads of gaffer tape all over them, and
Or maybe if they
It's
stick
not
some
just the
sort of,
room
like,
tone, it's the
suction-
fact that it'll smell of shit
Maybe,
as well.
maybe if they stuck some sort of suction thing on it,
what?
Like,
How heavy is this nappy
so that
gonna
once
be
they
for the baby
poo,
to
like
get around?
you just click a button and it just sucks all of the shit out of it into a chute, into like a little bin that's attached to the baby. And
Think!
Then, and then
Think
you,
about what you're saying. What is contraption you've got to hook a baby up to?
Anybody hear what happened to Brian Blessed yesterday?
No.
No.
Was he alright?
Yeah, well, no, not for a little while. He's playing King Lear at the moment, and he collapsed on stage. They called for a doctor. Generally, is there a doctor in the house? There was. Looked over by a surgeon. 20 minutes, a bit of a rest and a sweet cup of tea later. He ploughed on, got back on stage, and did the rest of the performance.
Wow.
Pretty sweet.
What a badass, man.
Gotta love Brian
fair
Blessed.
play that it carried on, man.
I think he's got to the. How old's he now? In his 70s, right?
I don't know. I'll find out, obviously, but I
He's
don't
got
know.
loads of records. You know, he's a climber as well, Tom. Brian Blessed.
Oh, you did a bit of that, did
You
you?
know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, he's climbed. Did he actually climb Everest? Or
No,
he
never got to the summit. But he's got a record for getting the furthest up there without oxygen. for somebody in his age bracket, I think.
Wow. He's 78 years.
Oh,
Let's
78.
have a look. If it's the person I'm thinking.
Oh, Tone.
I should have said before he looked. No.
Oh,
I was thinking-
no.
I was thinking someone else.
Brian Blessed. Voltan in Flash Gordon.
I thought I had a face to the name, but I was wrong.
Have you seen Flash Gordon?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really want to know who you
Oh,
were
is that
thinking
him?
of.
Yeah, Voltan. No, that's not Flash Gordon. He plays,
Oh,
he's a Hawkman. He's Voltan.
no way.
This is
I
unbelievable.
would never tell that was him by looking.
This is unbelievable. Brian Blessed. Monica Lewinsky last week. Brian Blessed this week. I think Brian Blessed is ridiculously famous.
You're not that surprised, are you? Right? Or...
Well, no, I am. I am now. I'm twice now. It's getting ridiculous, though. We can take the mick as much as we like about you not knowing people, but Brian Blessed. He's boxed with the Dalai Lama. He's a black belt in judo.
Fucking hell, he's done a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah. Heard him recently on a Christmas edition of the Infinite Monkey Cage. A fantastic BBC Radio 4 show.
I'm not a fan. Brian, blessed.
Fuck you.
Blessed be thy name.
28,200 feet he got to in 1993, or
Oh.
8,600 meters.
8.5 kilometres.
He's attempted it 3 times and never managed to get to the summit. That's
Something.
a shame, isn't it? He's the oldest man to trek to the magnetic North Pole on foot. He's undertaken an expedition in the jungles of Venezuela,
What's
during which he survived a plane crash. It's just chucked in there at the end.
What the
That is what you want
He's an actor, mind. That's, you know what I mean. He's not.
Proper classically trained.
He plays Grampy Rabbit in Peppa Pig.
Of course he does.
And he plays those beautiful roles when, after all that training.
Yeah,
I'm saying he's playing King Lear at the moment, mate. He's the shit.
he is. Yeah, he's the business. A picture of Will.i.am as a video, and it says "Equip kids to combat inequality." Wonder what he's proposing.
That every kid has 2 full stops in their first name. Dan Ayal.
Ooh.
That sounds alright.
K-E-N. Are you sitting comfortably, fella?
Yeah.
Then it is time for a question of Antone I.O. This is just from me, mate.
Alright.
It seems that your list making, when it came to people, was something of marvel.
Oh, no.
So, Ken was mentioning the book Some as well, different versions of Afterlives.
Yeah,
We were talking about that last week.
yeah, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
lent it to Justin, and he was going to come back and we were going to discuss it. And yeah, he hasn't done that. Another. I'm so glad that he's cunt of the week.
No more richly deserved as a cunt of the week been than this week.
Yeah, probably the cunt of cunts, really.
Well,
It will be by the time we do that on the.
I think that gives him
episode.
too much of a platform. I think then he'd rise up and sort of gather them all together and try and take over a small
Oh yeah, we don't want that.
train station or something.
You look really confused, Tone.
No, I was just,
It's just his face.
Yeah.
You gone to heaven?
yeah,
You're hosting a party.
right.
You can invite anybody, Tone.
The obvious is to just invite family members that have passed, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
All right, let's put it this way then. You're having a
I mean,
party.
you would really, wouldn't you? If you had that opportunity.
Of course, right. You're in heaven. You're having a party. You invite all your friends and family, everyone you knew.
Plus, I'm
Who would
allowed
you?
some
Who else would you
special
invite?
guests.
Yeah. Who's your special? Who are your special guests? That's it. That's the way to put it. Yeah.
Much, much better.
Right. I reckon George Harrison.
Excellent. What would George Harrison bring to the party?
I'd love for him to. I'd love to just speak to him as like. I'd love to find out more. I just love to. He seemed like a really cool guy, and also I'd love to have a nice chat to him about like spirituality and stuff. He can introduce me into like Hinduism and that, even though I've already died and gone to heaven, which has nothing to do with.
No, it's absolutely fine. No, you have all of that business. It's your idea
Yeah.
of heaven. That's why we mentioned.
I'd
the
love
sun.
for him to bring a sitar along, and just sort of give a little bit of background music. for
okay.
during the meal, quite heavenly sitar sounding music,
Excellent.
That'd be cool.
Great choice.
Yeah, I'd love to just meet him and just say you were my favourite, and I just want you to know that it wouldn't have been the same without you, the Beatles.
Thank you, Antonio.
Yeah.
You're the 3rd person that said that to me.
Um,
No way, man. George Harrison kicks ass.
Yeah, so George Harrison. I wouldn't have John Lennon. See, I've chose George Harrison.
He'd be busy, I think.
John Lennon, right?
I think most people will go for
Okay, then I think I would like to invite Jesus. Would he be?
Why not, mate?
surely be there anyway, like pouring the wine and that for everyone, like
Pouring the water.
sort of dividing the bread and fish out for everyone. No,
Well,
you know,
brought Jesus.
'cause
Typical.
if this guy did live, he sounds like a real dude, like proper humble, loving guy. I think it'd be great to have him there telling some stories, you know. Right, but then would we need them? We've already lived our lives and got to heaven. We don't need Jesus to tell us anything.
Well, he tell you some stories.
Yeah,
I don't know.
just ask him straight
No,
out.
I
Just
guess
go,
the real reason I would like Jesus to be there is so I can find out exactly what the hell was going on.
Yeah, great show. George Harrison and Jesus. This is excellent.
Okay. Oh God, I know it's sad, but Michael Jackson.
No children at this party then?
Yeah, just so I can meet the guy, you know. Just meet the guy himself. That'd
Right,
be
you
great.
meet him and then ask him to leave. Like you just there's a lot of people here who aren't too fussed on you.
You say, how did you get it? How did you get into heaven?
Great point. How is
It's
he
not
in
necessarily
heaven?
heaven, the afterlife.
Fine. So we've got
George Harrison,
2 musicians.
Jesus Christ,
and Jesus Christ.
Michael Jackson. Two bearded men. And one not so bearded.
Right, okay, right, gotta have someone good now. Gotta have someone good. Someone interesting that would be good to tell stories.
Is that what you're looking for? So you like have a meal and maybe get some of these people in and they'll like sort
Well,
of after
I'd
dinner
love-
speaker types
Oh, yeah,
tell some
fantastic.
stories? Is that what you think?
Yeah,
I-
Billie Jean accompanied by sitar, Jesus just doing all of his tricks on the table. It's a great dinner party. Love it.
I'm seeing it in a sort of like I don't know in a kind of shack though.
I'm
That's
not.
what I'm
I'm seeing
picturing.
it in like a grand banqueting hall.
I'm
Everybody's
kind of
wearing white.
picturing like George Harrison on the corner on a pile of old rugs or something with his sitar.
I'm trying to think of like famous people that have made history and have lived through some like really, you know, famous historical moments. But then
Okay.
I'm thinking, you wouldn't want someone like Anne Frank there because that'd just be depressing as fuck. She'd just be like, yeah, my time on Earth was horrible.
Good point.
So you want someone who had a good time that could tell you about it, but who also
Yeah.
lived through some
Yeah.
big historic moments or
You need
some
someone
massive
good.
changes.
I'd love to meet, but I have no idea who this person would be by name. But the last chief, Red Indian chief that got you know killed by by a cowboy. The last of the line of like chiefs. Just so I could give my condolences really and say I'm really sorry that you lost. I'm sorry you lost your land, like.
You're
I'm sure
apologising on
it'd be a
behalf
great.
I'm really
yeah,
sorry because
a
you
great.
know,
I'm sure it'd be a great comfort to him.
you guys are cool as fuck, and you know I just want you to know that TPs are like now like you know really famous. So people, well, you know, people love to get them.
Yeah, you should watch this Dances with Wolves. It's pretty
They
good.
make films about you and everything now. Yeah.
Yeah, John Wayne's killing quite a lot of you in quite a lot of them, but other than that, it's mostly Daniel Day-Lewis and Kevin Costner. So don't worry about it. All right, so we're going for that. We're going for Chief
Chief.
Last Stand.
Yeah, I don't think they weren't all, you know, wiped out like anyone who resisted was.
Yeah.
So I think that there are still chiefs today, aren't there?
Yeah,
You know,
great show.
surviving
Yeah.
ones, and there's still. So I think it's a little difficult to kind of difficult to know like who the last
So
one.
maybe a
was.
famous one like Crazy Horse then. Or
Have I got one? Yeah.
you got one guess left, mate.
I've
You
got
got
one
Crazy
left,
Horse, Michael Jackson, George Harrison, and Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I'm torn between two here now because I was thinking I would love to go for someone really attractive from the past,
Brilliant.
like Audrey Hepburn.
Oh,
Someone that I would love to just see in the flesh, you know, and you try and have a bit of a flirt with on the table, or
On the table.
on the table.
you know, at the table.
Really
sorry.
ostentatious way of flirting.
Yeah.
Will you join
Yeah,
me
don't
on the
put your-
table?
You'd never put your penis on the dinner table, Tom.
Or actually, I'm torn between three. Right.
Come on, mate. It's your paradise. You can
Damn
have
it.
these three.
I
Audrey Hepburn.
prefer the other two over Audrey Hepburn, so I'm torn between the two. Either J.R.R. Tolkien
Excellent.
or
Lovely woman. Gorgeous.
Janine Tolkien.
either Tolkien or Walt Disney.
Oh God. That's awesome.
And I can't decide which of the two I want.
You can have them all, Tone. It's
Damn
your
it.
paradise, mate. You can have them all.
Damn it.
Enjoy. And now, before we finish up, Ken's 5-minute book. What have you had your nose in this week, Kenneth?
Okay, I finished Purgatory.
Beautiful.
Purgatorio, Dante. I find myself getting quite into into it once. I know I said last week that I was a bit bored by it, but yeah, I was wrong. And I listened to last week's podcast, and I got a couple of details slightly wrong.
Ooh.
For example, it is not a spiral path that goes around the mountain.
Okay.
It's just cornices, and there are stairways that connect them. Yeah, but I found myself getting into. I'm gonna read some sort of secondary text on it and stuff. Clive James published one last year.
You did say that. That's awesome.
But I could see myself reading a bit more. I mean, I've been watching these videos of a lecturer at Yale, delivering them about Dante, and yeah,
We'll chuck a link up.
yeah. Well, there's loads of them. I watched the whole Divine Comedy tome. It's written in cantos, so they're in like sets of verses, and yeah, there are 100 cantos for the whole thing.
Wow.
It's a kind of introductory one, and then there's 34 in the Inferno, but there's one's a kind of like introduction, like when he's lost in the woods, and then 33, and there's this lecture series. There's an introductory one, and then the first one covers cantos 1 to 4, just to give you an idea of like how many hours of material there are. This guy talking with these students about Dante, but I mean, it's been quite revelatory anyway. Like, for example, I would never have realised that you can read it. Obviously, it's like you get Inferno Canto 1, there's Canto 1 for Purgatorio, and then one for Paradiso. But you can read them in that order, like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, and different, because they they're linked thematically, they mirror each other and things. It's still from a time when they believed that like everything rotated around the Earth, so the sun and the stars, the heavens rotate around the Earth. And the Earth in this is conceived as like the northern hemisphere is land and the southern hemisphere is the sea, and it's basically like, if you imagine like Satan cast out of heaven, fell into the earth, and like in falling down created this huge pit, and that's what then became hell, became the Inferno. But that pushed all this other earth, all this land out of the southern hemisphere, out of the ocean, and that's the mountain of purgatory. So you go down through hell, and then that's how you emerge on the other side of the planet, on the other side of the kind of sphere, at the bottom of the mountain of purgatory. And then you climb up to the top past all the people sort of working off their sins. There's like 7 sort of cornices. Well, there's some earlier ones like for the apathetic and things, and you have to do like, some of them it's 30 years for every year that you were alive. You have to stay there. But then they go up, there's different punishments. So like the slothful, they can never stay still. The people who commit the sin of avarice, they have to lie like face down with their backs to heaven, like just looking at the earth.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the gluttonous are essentially starved, and there's like tree there that's like thinner at the bottom, so you can't climb it. And they climb all the way up to top, and then like the Garden of Eden, essentially the earthly paradise, is on the top of this mountain, and then that's how you then ascend to this like 7 spheres of heaven, starting in paradise. But it's quite, I don't know, just the scale of it really, of the imagination, just how realised it is, and how wonderful. And I think I'm anticipating that we'll have a few books about Dante this year.
Damn straight.
I'm gonna buy Auerbach's book about Dante, a poet for the secular world, which sounds really good. I'm gonna go because I'm really interested in how rich the text is. Like, and like it's 700 years old, and people are still writing books about it and finding stuff in it and writing theses about it. So, yeah, fascinating.
Seems well worth your efforts, man, and well worth the time spent reading it.
And I also read a book by a psychoanalyst called Stephen Gross.
Nice.
Gross. Grosz, called The Examined Life, How We Lose and Find Ourselves, which is a kind of it's a collection of snippets of cases of people he'd met, and analysis that he'd done with people, work he had done with various people.
That sounds good.
And just like, just sort of how he worked things out,
how we as people work things out, or how these individuals.
Well, both, and just as examples of things that we talk about things in emergencies and quoting research of how, like, if a fire alarm goes off, most people don't immediately evacuate. They look to their colleagues and they look for someone in authority to tell them what to do, because it's like, what's going on? The alarm's going off. Is it actually a fire? And people try and assess. They look for more information rather than reacting. He was using it to talk about people using crises to kind of mask, like, facing a deeper pain.
Yeah, right.
So it was like a patient that he had, who her husband had been terminally ill, and she'd struggled to face it but under the pretense of like she couldn't just look after him all the time, would have to have time for herself and some things. She continued to, you know, go out with her friends and to live her own life to a certain degree. And of course then after he died she felt enormous guilt about this, but it meant that for the whole first year of analysis that she was just always coming in with these different crises. She was things she'd lost, mistakes she'd made, bills she hadn't paid, and it was just, you know, repeatedly lurching from crisis to crisis, but in order to mask confronting the deep. It was all written like that, really, really kind of simple, really easy. I've not read anything too taxing, to be honest, this year yet.
I don't know, mate. People say like Dante is, and you know all the separate work you've done. It's excellent.
I'm not going full
I'm
on.
behind on my on my resolution of reading.
Already?
Yeah.
I've nearly finished Stephen Fry. We should mention Stephen Fry, of course, got married this week.
Yeah.
Congratulations, that's me firmly out of the running now.
No, good on him.
Bittersweet, as a friend said to me. And I've started reading the first 15 lives of Harry August.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Dan, is the fact that Stephen Fry is in The Hobbit a reason for you to want to watch the film?
No.
Okay. Well, he stars in it, mate. He stars in all.
Yeah, I know. He's like mayor of Gryffindor or something. Alright, I'd like to thank my co-participants for this week, Antonio Ramola
Yeah, cheers.
and Kenneth Trainer.
Thank you, Dan.
My absolute pleasure. Remember, follow us on Twitter at The Last 7 or email us thelast7podcast@gmail.com. Get in contact.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Doing that again.
Well, if we get any suggestions, mate, always.
Right, so.
Like,